Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and I know I said my next WoWie review is going to be over the light strike guns, but the thing is, it's actually becoming a bit of a more complicated review than I thought. The light strike guns, it's laser tag, so I have to actually get a bunch of people together, I need to get a venue, I need to do all sorts of crazy things before I can even get it going. So, until then, I think I'm going to have to put that one on hold in favor of reviewing
the Paper Jamz Pro Series.
Paper Jamz is a hugely popular series that was created by WoWie a while back that had to do with little guitars that were paper thin, not exactly made of paper, they were actually made of plastic, that used touch-sensitive panels in order to simulate playing a guitar. Now, the Paper Jamz Pro series, its big difference is that, first of all, you can actually put your own music onto them. The Paper Jamz guitars originally had canned music on them, but there's an app that allows you to put music straight onto the instrument. You can put up to 12 minutes of music in 4-minute increments. For example, you can have 3 songs under 4 minutes, you can have 2 songs, one under 8 minutes, one under 4 minutes, or you can have 1 song under 12 minutes. First up, we have the Paper Jamz microphone and amplifier. The amplifier actually has several effects, such as
perfect pitch,
which is basically an auto-tuner and allows you to correct your pitch, kind of like Major People. And then there is
vibrato,
which has a little vibrato, but doesn't really seem to have much of an effect otherwise.
chorus,
Which makes you sound kind of like a robot, honestly. I don't really like it too much. And
harmony,
which I really couldn't perceive the difference of. And then there's
melody match,
which seems to be similar to an auto-tuner, but I think microphone-compatible songs are able to do it. And real fun is when you do
all of them at once.
Makes me kind of sound like an alien robot chipmunk quartet, doesn't it? You can upload songs onto here, but the thing is, you have to find the karaoke versions yourself. Now the thing is, the speaker doesn't really sound as good as it sounds on those audio clips. That's because I actually recorded those directly into my computer. There is a headphone jack, which if you have a male-to-male 1/8 cable that you can send into the microphone jack, you can actually save the sound right onto your computer. So things like the auto-tuner and stuff, those are actually really handy if you're saving it right onto your computer, like if you're recording some unique music and need the auto-tuning effect. Otherwise, you know, it's not really good. Normally you can sing louder than the speaker can achieve, and it just doesn't quite sound as good. It's got kind of the similar problem to the Tree of Light, but the thing is, if you use it through your computer, it's a lot better. Well, the microphone might have been a bit of a bum steer, but don't worry, it's more than made up for by the sheer unadulterated awesomeness that is the Paper Jamz Pro guitar! Like the microphone, you can put 12 minutes of music onto this guitar. The original Paper Jamz guitar is definitely their most popular product because it's reasonably priced and allows you to simulate actual guitar. This is a vast improvement over that. You are able to do even more guitar effects, and you can change out the songs that are on here so you can play whatever you want. Now the thing about this guitar is you can play it a lot like a regular guitar. Don't look too impressed, that's the first rock song everybody learns. It sounds a lot better when you do it in the proper key. The guitar on some songs has something that is called perfect play, which means it actually causes your notes to sync up to what you're playing without having to move any frets. Now, you can put every MP3 on here, but not all of them have perfect play compatibility. Anyway, there's all sorts of cool things this guitar can do, and I think the best way to show them off would probably be to play something for you. Now, I had to choose a song that was both inoffensive and easy to play along, but also proves that you really can put any MP3 onto this thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Cutie Crusaders. Alright, coming in with the palm mute on, you'll notice it'll actually sound a little different. Up the palm mute. 3, 2, 1, and sounds nice, but let's add a little whammy bar to it, shall we? sound. Hit the button here and you get just notes. Tilt the neck up for an extra octave. Take the neck for vibrato. Combine them. Pretty fun, huh? Close enough. So yeah, you see there's a lot of potential in this thing. I'm actually able to change out the instruments on this thing as well. You can turn this thing into an acoustic guitar or a blues guitar. I once tried playing Smells Like Teen Spirit with a banjo. Poor Kurt Cobain was rolling in his grave. Honestly, the only way this thing could be any cooler is if it went open source. I want to see people doing their own perfect syncs and their own instruments. I think that would be incredible if they just opened it up. It would probably be a whole new revolution in toys and gaming. Anyway, this thing is awesome. It is incredible. My dad, who's been an engineer for 25 years, was amazed that they were able to get this into something that costs less than $40. Really, it's amazing. If you don't own a guitar, but you want to play it and have a good musical ear like I do, you will just love this. This is probably one of the favorite things that WowWee sent me. I definitely advocate this product. Now, of course, the problem is, since this thing is so awesome, everything else in this series really kind of pales in comparison. Like the Paper Jams Pro Series drum set. Now, the Paper Jams Pro Series drum set also has a counterpart in the regular Paper Jams line. However, this one has a more larger shape to it and can store up to 3 songs. It can also store up to 3 different kinds of drum sets, which you can switch between with the cymbals when in menu mode. Now, you can see there's kind of a blinking light here. You can also play some fills there. This light up here is actually your tempo meter, and you can actually record your own fill to it. It'll actually play you some notes here, see? And this is what you get when you add in a few more beats. Now, the thing is, you're limited to 2 measures in 4/4 time. I mean, at least the Wind Waker, you can actually change measures. Now, another issue is you can't use drumsticks with it. Now, it normally requires your hand to tap, but the thing is, I tried making a drumstick out of a chopstick and a Nerf dart, and it didn't really work. I guess it has something to do with, like, the electrical current that goes in a human body or something like that. But the thing is, a drumstick is really needed because a drumstick, you can see how I'm getting like several hits each time I bring it down. That's one of the reasons that people use drumsticks, is because you're able to get multiple hits each time you bring it down. And that's actually really important. That's the thing. With the Paper Jams guitar, it feels like I'm playing an actual guitar with all the frets and stuff, and that's why it's so awesome. I don't really quite get the same feeling out of this drum set. And that leaves us with just 1 box left in the Paper Jams Pro Series. I wonder what it could... No, it's not true. That's impossible!
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
No! The Justin Bieber Keytar. Talk about making me put my money where my mouth is. I said I'd review anything, and these WowWee guys are a little bit too smart for their own good. Anyway, what can we say about Justin Bieber, the high-pitched, annoying internet heartthrob singer? I don't like him, in case you can guess. I really don't. I find his pop music kind of annoying, and although I admit I can't really blame him for cashing in while he can, because the shelf life for actors and stars and singers like him is actually pretty short, so he's taking advantage while he can, and he does seem to at least learn the first rule of mass media: give the people what they want. I'd watch that all day, but then I realize I'm cheering for a Justin Bieber performance. Well, I guess I can't really put that off, can I? Well, there's a switch on the top. Ah! What? What? I just turned it on! Why is it screaming at me? Oh, jeez. Really? How am I supposed to review this when all I have is this voice screaming at me the instant I turn it on? Oh, please. Please. Oh! Oh. You can turn off his voice. You can turn off just his voice and get rid of it. Okay, maybe I can do this now. Okay, I think I can handle this now. Anyway, the mode button over here, you can actually hit vocals, drums, or music, and it can actually shut that off in the middle of the song. It comes with 3 songs called Somebody to Love. I thought that went, I need somebody to love. Oh well, I guess there's a Justin Bieber version of the song now. One Time and One Less Lonely Girl. Oh well. Anyway, there's also a freestyle mode, which you hit by hitting mode, which starts off with... Okay, hitting the keys in that mode actually causes you to hear one of Justin Bieber's samples like... Smell for me? Oh well. Who am I to judge him? I mean, I don't like the guy. Strumming across all the keys makes it sound like there's like 5 Justin Biebers in the same room. I mean, that might be somebody's fantasy. I honestly can't have that fantasy unless I'm holding an automatic weapon. Fortunately, you can change it into a synth piano, which is exactly 1 octave. And includes the black keys. Now, for a piano, it's kind of limiting to have just 1 octave on here. You can't tilt it up and get an extra octave like you can on the guitar. That and the synth kind of cuts out pretty quickly after you hit it. I'd want it to at least go on for a couple seconds for something like this, especially if you just want to do some slow, easy accompaniment, but hitting the mode button and then the song starts up a sample of the song, hitting it again starts the actual song. You stop the song by hitting mode, then the smell for me button. There's also a few buttons over here you can hold down to get some interesting beats. Don't really think they have much rhyme or reason to them. Now, if you hit the mode button and hit one of these buttons up here, it turns off one of the functions like the voice, thank goodness. However, if you do it without that, there's actually a fun little bar here, kind of like the rip strip on the guitar that gets different effects, like the flanger. Or the tremolo. Now, those are actually pretty cool. If they made like an AC/DC version of this guitar, I'd be all over it. But for now, I don't really like it. Hey, didn't I just turn this thing off? Where's that? What's going on here? Wait. Uh-oh. It's worse than I thought. It's Justin Bieber. Oh, this is bad. I mean, I knew his influence was spreading, but I had no idea it had gotten so voracious. If only I could fight him with something, some kind of weapon that I could swing with reckless abandon, not caring about whether it breaks or not. You know, this thing looks kind of like a battle axe. I guess we can call this impact testing. Safety first. And so, once again, my front yard is safe from the influences of Justin Trieber. And look at this! These things really are made out of paper! Anyway, it took quite a few line drive shots in order to get this thing to break like this. So I imagine like a drop or a scrape or something like that won't really damage it that much at all. Okay, I suppose we ought to wrap things up here. Well, the Paper Jamz microphone, it's not really good on its own, but if you're using it as an auto-tuner or using it to record through your computer, it can work pretty well. The speaker might be a little bit weak, but if you can hook it up to some powered speakers or something, I imagine it'll work a whole lot better. The guitar, awesome. 5 stars, awesome. This thing is just so cool. It feels like you're playing a real guitar. If you don't own a guitar and kind of casually want to play one, I'd say this is a good place to start. It's less than $40, which makes it even cheaper than a lot of the electric guitars that are self-contained that they sell for kids. So I really like this a lot. You can swap out the music on it. You can play along. This is definitely cool. The drum set, I think, would be better for some people who are a bit more percussion-minded, or if they actually invented some drumsticks that would work with it. I know they have a pedal for it, but if they made some drumsticks so that it could actually feel more like a real drum set, I think it'll be a lot more successful. Another thing I'd be interested in seeing is if there was a way to, like, use the kind of phone port I see on here in order to connect these together, in order to sync them up to have them play the same song and have, like, a Paper Jamz band. As for what's left of my Justin Bieber Keytar, you know, it's not really a true member of the Paper Jamz Pro series. You cannot switch out the songs, which is kind of a real problem, especially since this thing is being sold for $30. I mean, it has some fun effects, and like I said, if there was another band variant of this, like an AC/DC variant of this, I'd probably be all over it, but I haven't really seen this thing sold so much, so I think other stores kind of gotten the picture about what this thing is like, because a regular Paper Jamz guitar can do a lot of what this thing can, and only costs like $10. So, anyway, now it's time to move on to the prizes. It's the same rules as before. You have to be a subscriber of mine. The first 2 prizes can only be given to people within the continental United States, and you have to send me a reason why you want it, with no addresses included. There's more specific rules in the Light Sprites review from before. The first place winner will receive one of everything I reviewed today: the Paper Jamz Pro Series microphone, the Paper Jamz Pro Series guitar, the Paper Jamz Pro Series drums, and 1 cudgel. The second prize winner will receive 1 set of Paper Jamz drums, 1 Paper Jamz Pro Series microphone, and 1 cudgel. And my third place winner will receive 1 Paper Jamz Pro microphone. Now, if you want to opt out of the Justin Bieber Keytar, I can understand.
But you're getting it anyway.
And that's the Paper Jamz Pro Series. It has its ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it's really awesome and definitely a big improvement over the original Paper Jamz. I'll be back next time with the Light Strike review, finally, once I manage to get it all together. And if you'll excuse me until then, I got some rocking out to do.